Lease agreement signed on the White House lawn last Monday because we got the scars in our bodies. We're winning. We came here 30 years ago for the March on Washington. From Texas across to Florida up to Virginia, we couldn't use a single public toilet. We could not use a single hotel. We couldn't drink water from a single fountain. We did not have the right to vote. We didn't have a congressional black caucus. We didn't have 400 black mayors. We did not have the capacity to even think about foreign affairs, dealing in private survival. But just like when David knocked down Goliath, he couldn't go and party because Goliath wasn't no eunuch, he had some babies. And you knock down Jim Crow and you got Jim Crow Esquire. The giants keep coming. And so do not end up in a way you say, well, what can we do? Well, we, in fact, the laws that trapped South Africa of apartheid in 1948 came from here, from the 1896 laws. What Mandela is trying to do now is what we achieved in 1965. The fact is, we are winning, and our struggling has not been in vain, but there are some different options. For example, when Dr. King would make the case, if we just end racism by law, and get inside the plant gate with an education, we can grow. That was the period of economic growth. Now we get inside the plant, and the plant is closed. There's a very different context in which we operate. Zero economic growth among the industrial nations of the world is a factor in this. The economic downturn cannot be ignored. Lastly, we beat legislation with Jim Crow, but now Jim Crow Esquire regulation. The giants keep coming. And I would say lastly, Aristide is on his way back to Haiti because of us. Mandela got out of jail because of us. We're going to bring that matter to a resolution in Nigeria because of us. And now there will be an urban policy because we will not back down. So in the face of all of these challenges, do not assume that our struggles have been in vain and not productive.
I'll take some brief comments from Minister Farrakhan and Representative Waters and then go to your questions.
The scripture teaches, my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. And it is ignorance that is the worst enemy of the rise of our people to fulfill our destiny. That ignorance is fed on by corrupt leadership. Now, the scripture again says, woe to the shepherds who feed themselves and not the flock. Should not the shepherds feed the flock? Most of our leaders are handpicked by the very enemy that we're trying to get free from. It's all right for us to say we have a voting rights bill and a public accommodations bill, and all of us, including myself, have benefited from those bills. But to get a public accommodations bill and a voting rights bill and then close black hotels because we sleep in white ones, or close black establishments so that we can spend our money with our oppressor is not winning. Reverend Jackson, I submit. Wait. On one hand, we are winning because every one of these brilliant congresspersons, they represent us. They are brilliant men and women. These are brilliant people in front of us. But what good does it do to have a brilliant head not connected to a black body? I submit. that until and unless we as a mass connect with the Congressional Black Caucus, and our black leaders connect to the black masses. And don't take your eye off the prize, because now you can sit in boardrooms and be media folk now. Because little black people marched in the streets and suffered and went to jail to make openings for those of us who sit in leadership. Now we've got to unite at the top and develop strategies to free our people. Otherwise, we will be saying we're winning, but the masses keep losing. So if the masses keep losing, then we can't be winning unless our agenda is personal. We're looking for self-aggrandizing. But if we're looking for the liberation, if we want the liberation of our people, then ain't none of us winning until all of us become winners.
You damn sure not going to upstage me. I'll let him speak, but I'm coming behind. And you don't want to be in my presence BSing the people, and I'm coming behind you. I hear you.
Reverend Jesse Jackson says he's very sorry for remarks he made about Senator Barack Obama. Jackson made the comments after an interview with Fox News, and he says he simply didn't realize his microphone was on at the time. A videotaped portion of his remarks shows Jackson telling another guest that Barack Obama was, quote, talking down to black people. Speaking to CNN's Don Lemon on the Situation Room, Reverend Jackson said his comments were taken out of context.
Punctified leader, I want you to hear me tonight. I'm going to say it again. No cowardly, punctified leader will lead this new generation of young black men and women. Your day of leading them is finished. Because the youth don't want to hear a damn thing you say.
You see, Minister Farrakhan beefing with Sharpton and beefing with Reverend Jackson, and I don't know how long ago that was, but today, in 2019, getting ready to be 2020, coming up with a new election, this is what I say. I know some of you say, well, who gonna lead us? Well, we need a leader. I mean, y'all defied Jesus, defied Moses. Y'all defiant of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Prophet Muhammad, 1400 years ago. So you have to lead yourself. My uncle told me a story about the sheep and the lion. The sheep was getting ate up every year by the lion. The lion would come up to the sheep, pick out a fat one, and the other sheep would sacrifice the sheep to the lion. So one sheep said, you know, we can't keep on doing this. We got to figure out a way to stop this lion from eating us up. So he said, you know, you could talk, you could rap, man. Why don't you hook it up, you know? He said, yeah, well, I'm going to run some game up under this lion, and I bet you I could get him to stop eating us. So the lion came up to eat him. He said, wait a minute. He said, we eat grass. We fat and healthy. You know, the people that eat vegetation, or the sheep that eat vegetation, are more, healthy, more smarter, more tastier, more everything. But we are doing what we supposed to do, and you don't supposed to be eating meat. You're supposed to be eating grass. So, but he was talking so good, talked better than me, and he convinced the lion to start eating grass. So eventually the lion didn't need those sharp teeth no more, and they fell out. The lion didn't need his sharp claws no more to pull the meat apart, and they fell off. And so the lion was walking around clawless and toothless after so many years, because he didn't need his sharp teeth no more. He stopped eating meat and started eating grass. And he became a pacifist. So Mr. Farrakhan was a good talker, Jesse a good talker, and they're trying to talk the beast from eating meat, but they forget the beast is in his nature. This beast ain't like the lion. This beast is a demon, a devil. He can't stop eating. Can you dig it? This is Black Light saying, stay tuned.